got amazing family traditions. We got amazing family traditions like Soul Food Sunday at Big Mama's, where you get that good fried chicken. You know that good fried chicken when you can smell it. It's just like, man, you know it's going to be hitting. That baked macaroni and cheese, that real baked macaroni and cheese, not the Chick-fil-A, Popeyes baked macaroni and cheese. You know that real baked macaroni and cheese, not that watery stuff that you get from Stouffer's. I'm talking about that cheddar baked macaroni and cheese. I'm talking about that cheddar. I'm talking about those candy yams. I ain't talking about the canned ones. I'm talking about that fresh cut yams, the brown sugar, the real butter on that thing. I'm talking about those collard greens. I ain't big on collard greens. I'm talking about I'm talking about that cornbread that my wife makes. You know what I mean? That cornbread that makes your toes curl. I'm talking about that type of soul food dinner. Those type of traditions are amazing. Those are embedded in the fabric of who we are. Those are the memories that keep us going and keep us pushing and understand what family is. Those are positive memories. I'm talking about fishing trips. I'm not big on fishing trips, people. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't eat seafood like that. I don't eat seafood at all, actually. And I'm just not sitting out here trying to cast a ride the water and sit there and stare, which is weird because my dream day is just sitting at the beach and, in Nice, France, stare at the water. So it's just weird. It's weird. Don't judge me. Don't even try to unravel that. I can't explain that part. The point is, that's a dope memory of, going on fishing trips, packing the cooler the night before with lunch meat sandwiches, and just going out and just chilling at your favorite fishing spot, creating memories. Another one, game night. Sitting around with your kids, no TV, no phones, just sitting there playing game night, playing a competitive game of Uno, playing piggy pack, for the adults, spades with the adults, playing Monopoly, playing a game of Sorry, which is one of my favorite games. I be kicking my kids and my wife behind Sorry. I'm the king of Sorry. My son thinks he's like the master of Jenga, but I'll whoop his behind Jenga too. But that's off subject. Don't worry about that. That's not important. The point is, these traditions are amazing traditions that we embed in our family that creates happy memories that bring together camaraderie. I can't say the word, so I'm not even gonna try to say it right now. Bring home helps us congregate. I'm gonna use that word because I can't say the other word right now. Helps us congregate and have good moments that we pass on to the future. But some family traditions are meant to be broken. Some family traditions have to be destroyed, dismantled, dismembered, thrown in the trash, never to be seen again. Such as telling your children, telling your son that when a girl's disrespecting them, talking down on you, that's her way of showing love or liking. Telling your daughter that when a little boy sitting there pushing her down in the mud or beating on her, that's his way of showing he like her. Or when she get older, a man whooping her behind is his way of showing love. That's one of those things, those family traditions, those generational curses we need to break and destroy. We need to dismember it because it doesn't help. And it's embedded in the fabric of who we are, in the condition of our children, and it affects their lives, their future, our future. We gotta stop. We gotta stop spreading misinformation about finances, teaching your daughters to be mischievous and not outright honest with your husbands about your finances. You keep hearing about, you gotta have a rainy day fund. You gotta have, your husband can't know everything you got. You gotta have a stash that your husband don't know about. Teaching your daughter to not be honest, but expecting an honest, healthy marriage. Not teaching them the truth about how to. Teaching them about credit. Teaching them about checking credit. Knowing what your husband's doing. Knowing his financial habits before you get too deep in a relationship. We're going to go deep into that. We got to get real about it, people. We got to get real about taking responsibility of how we affect people's credit. How getting cell phones in your kids' names and cable bills, electric bills, car payments, houses, and everything else that you're getting. Cell phones, electric, all that good stuff. In kids' names, how it's affecting their future and affecting how they understand and deal with finances, creating financial PTSD. We have to be more honest about how we are raising our children. We keep talking about how youth are killing each other and how they just don't love each other, how much violence is in the inner city, but how much honesty are we taking into how we created? How about the generation that grew up during the crack era? When they was out there the kids were sitting there raising themselves, jumping into gangs because they looked at it as a way of having family. How about we take responsibility of how you ushered in this era that we live in today? How about responsibility we take it today? And we're going to break generational curses, people. We're going to have to get into all this. I'm going to do my best to cover all this in this short time I have. But let's get right into it, people. Let's get to the nitty-gritty and start with the very beginning. Because the start of our children's lives are the most important time. When our children's lives and our brains are like Play-Doh, waiting to be formed and molded into something great. And a lot of times what we do is we're not doing that. Because when our children, young children come home, our son come home, he come home with his head down, his crown tilted, about to slide off his head. His crown is just, he's a prince. Your son's a prince. Your daughter's a princess. He comes in there, head down, because this little girl was teasing him all day, talking about how ugly he is, his clothes was ugly, his shoes was ugly, everything about him was bad. And he feeling bad, he comes to you and you're like, well, what's wrong? Well, this little girl and her friends was teasing me all day, every single day teasing me. I don't even want to go back to school, just feeling so bad about stuff, feeling bad about their color of skin, feeling bad about their race, their hair texture, just feeling so bad about themselves. And what do we say? Generational curses. Oh, that little girl likes you. That's why she's doing that. It's her way of liking you. She's afraid to tell you that she likes you, so she's teasing you as a way of telling you that she likes you. Stop. Right there is a bad thing. It's a bad choice. That's creating a generational curse that's going to be passed down to your children's life. Why? Because you're teaching your son that in the future when a girl's cheating on him, treating him like crap at home, that's a way of showing love, showing appreciation, showing that she likes him. So he seeks out those type of relationships. He's seeking out the girl that's going to mistreat him, treat him badly. And you might say, well, common sense will tell you to not do that. It ain't about common sense because you're working off what's embedded, what's tailored, what's stitched into your consciousness, what's stitched into your very fabrics of who you are, which is you were taught that when a girl teases you, talk down on you, laugh at you, put you down, lower your self-esteem, that's her way of showing that she likes him. And he goes on to life thinking that that's what he should seek. That's what makes love. That is what love is. Then we got to think about our daughters. Think about our daughters here. The daughters come home. They go to school. Little boy pushing them in the mud, laughing at them, teasing them, hitting on them, pushing them around, bullying them. They come home, mud on their dress. Mom, Dad, little Ricky, he keep pushing around. He keep teasing. Let me tell you something right now, people. Touch my door, I'm gonna whoop your ass. All right, little boys, I'm gonna beat your ass. I don't give a damn how little you are. I beat your dad ass too. I don't care. Don't touch my door. I'm sorry. I got off something. I'm sorry. I lost myself for a second. My apologies. Point being, she come home talking about what little Ricky did. Little Ricky get his ass whooped. I'm sorry. Again, just keep picking me off balance here. Little Ricky come home, push the door in the mud. You come home, you tell him, well, little Ricky likes you. Little Ricky, that's why little Ricky doing that. He just likes you. That's why he keep teasing you and push you around. Fast forward. Your daughter gets older. She starts thinking and seeking out men who sit there and abuse her, push her around, punch her, because she thinks that's what love. She's seeking that guy that's beating her. She's not seeking the guy that's going to respect her, that's going to sit there and treat her good. She's seeking a little Ricky type man who's going to beat the hell out of her because you told her that's how you receive love. That's love. That's how you know when a man likes you. So she's seeking out that type of energy. Because, again, it's not about common sense. It's about what's embedded, what's stitched into our consciousness, the fabric that makes and breeds our consciousness. And our children grow up thinking, our daughters grow up thinking that this dude that's whooping my ass loves me because that's what my family told me when little Ricky was beating me up, teasing me, and pushing me in the mud on the playground. Then it gets deeper, though. Because we fast forward in 20, 25 years. Family curses, people. Family curses. You got these women who come to their moms, their grandmothers, their aunts, their husbands beating pardon my French, their ass. Beating their ass. And you got women who are telling these women. You got older women telling these younger women, yo, your job is to honor your husband, to honor and respect your husband. And if he got to come home and do this and that, as long as he taking care of you, he paying the bills, right? He keeping the roof over your head, right? You got food on the table. You ain't sitting in the streets, are you? You need to accept that relationship. Honor your husband. And your husband come home whooping his ass because nobody sit here and taught him. Generational curses, how to deal with the disdain, the hurt, the pain that the world is putting on him, the pressure that the outside world is putting on him. And because he don't know how to, or he's seeing his daddy sitting there beating his mommy up, or his grandmother's aunt up, he comes home, he whooping you behind. He's taking out all his stress, his anger out on you, beating you up. And you go to your parents, your mom, your grandma, your aunt, talking to them like, what should I do? Oh, you got to take that. You got to take that whooping because you got a good man. You ain't going to find a man that's going to sit here and take care of you like that. You got 3 kids. You ain't going to find a man that's going to accept you and your 3 kids. So you're going to have to accept that, honor your husband. And you're teaching these women to be in a situation and to remain in a relationship that's not only abusive, but 9 times out of 10 leads into someone's death. Because you're telling them to honor a relationship. Because back in the day, this is what you do. This was a regular thing that women were mistreated and was beaten on, and this was something that you've grown to accept and learn to accept. So you're telling future generations to accept this type of behavior. I ain't accepting to behavior. Don't come to me telling me somebody put their hands on my daughter. Because this day, I don't want to go to jail, but I might just have to go. Okay? But that's the point. Too many times, that's not happening. What we're telling our daughters, our sons, to get out of these abusive, whether physical, emotionally, or mentally bad relationships. We're telling them to stay and honor the relationship because somehow, some way, there's some kind of underlying benefit to it. No benefit that you're getting is as important as your health, your mental health, and your self-esteem. Stop and break the generational curses. Stop telling your daughters to stay in these relationships. Stop telling your sons to stay in these relationships that are not healthy for them. Stop it. Break the cycle, people. Rip out the seams of this. But I'm going to continue on because I don't want to take too much time on this. I'm getting emotional right now thinking about it. The other thing, finances. Oh my gosh. I have arguments all the time with people about this. One of my closest friends have talked about this all the time. We debate this very subject because a lot of times, women tell their daughters, like, yo, you got to make sure you got something stashed, a rainy day fund. Your husband shouldn't know what you got. The right hand not always supposed to know what the left hand's doing. And what you're doing is, and this is my interpretation, and I argue, fight, and debate anybody on the subject, bring it. I'm right here. I ain't hiding. I ain't hiding about nothing you want to talk to me about. Especially this. You tell them that, and what you're telling them is to walk into a relationship or a marriage with distrust, dishonesty. And there's no trust and honesty because you're hiding stuff. Why are you telling them hide stuff? Because you don't trust your husband. Why don't you trust your husband? Most likely because something about your husband causes you mistrust with finances. Maybe he just don't know how to save his money. You want to keep spending money. Y'all want to save for a house, but he keeps spending money on sneakers or clothes or something else. Maybe you'll need to pay bills, but he want to gamble. So you feel like you got to have some money stashed in case of rainy day, but when your husband put a hole in the roof and the rain keep pouring in. Go back to my episode, House Divided. I'll go deeper into this. The point is, you got people telling them, generational curses. Women tell them this, teaching their daughters this, teaching their sons this, have a money stash, but you need to teach them the truth. Before you walk into a relationship, here's my advice, here's what I tell my children. First of all, this. When you see a relationship starting to get serious, it's starting to heat up, you think this relationship may go somewhere, you need to start having the conversation about finances. You need to start looking into credit reports. Not just yours, but the person who you're looking to share your life with, that you're going to build your life with. Because if you're trying to buy a house and you sit here with a 720 credit score, you got a blazing savings of $20,000, it don't matter if you sit here ready to get into a relationship or marry a woman or a man who has a credit score of a 420, okay, got that out the yang, is stuck in bankruptcy, got horrible spending habits, because what's going to happen, whether you got a freaking rainy day or fund or not, is they're going to bring their venom into your life, and they're going to run your credit score down, and they're going to run you into the ground. And your dreams of opening your own business, buying your own house, getting a new car, whatever you may be doing, opening your own salon, is going to go in the toilet because you're bringing in bad debt into your relationship. You're bringing in bad energy into your relationship, financially bad energy in your relationship. And all the rainy day funds in the world is not going to help you. It's not going to help you. Understand and know. And you probably say, well, what they don't want to show me their credit report. You ain't no gold digger because you want to know. No, they're showing I'm financially responsible. And if they're not comfortable with discussing that with you, then it's possible that there's something they just don't want you to know. I always say, with my wife, I always say this. If I can't tell my wife something or talk to my wife about something, I know that I did something wrong or am doing something wrong. Because if I can't have a conversation with her about it, then there's something not right with it. Because if I'm being honest, I should be able to tell anybody to talk about anything. It shouldn't be something I need to hide. If I need to hide it, it's because there's something I don't want you to know. And if I don't want you to know, it's because I'm worried about how you're going to respond to it. If you respond to seeing somebody with a 420 and stuck in bankruptcy for the next 13 years and don't really got a job or no financial thing, it ain't because you're saying, no, I don't want no scrubs. It's saying because, look, I have a goal, I have a plan for my future, and I'm not going to let you destroy it. Thank you, but no thank you. I thought we had a connection, but our finances are otherwise. Sorry. Because I'm telling you right now, people, don't get called by Disney happily ever after. In your relationship, the one problem you're definitely going to have, unless you're Jay-Z, Beyonce, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett type of money, you're going to have financial problems, and this will cause a divide issue at some point in your relationship. You can dead that early, or at least try to get ahead of it early, but understand that. Rainy day funds, cool, but also cause mistrust. And here's my thing about that. I'm going to go a little deeper, real quick. Family curses, people. Generational curses. You got these family members, these women, these men telling you about rainy day funds, stashing money, teaching you about finances, about how you should be holding your finances. Here's my thing. Would you listen to a person who homeless on how the hell you buy a house? Would you? Would you take a financial advice from someone who recently are bankrupt, got a 420 credit score, can't pay their bill one time, got all kinds of different identities so you get new cell phones, stealing people, social security, the card numbers and all that to get a cell phone? Are you listening to business advice and financial advice from that person? No disrespect to your mama or your pappy. No disrespect to them. But how many times are your mom and dad passing on financial PTSD to you? Because your mom and dad, because we come from this generation, people, we come from this generation where our mom and dad had cable bills, cell phone bills, electric bills, landline phone bills, card insurance, car payment, houses in our name. Hell, they had timeshares in Florida and California in your name, and they ain't paid not one of them. You go to Verizon right now, what happens? I'm going to buy a new iPhone. You sit there singing and stuff, skipping to Verizon. You get there, they run your credit. You think, yeah, I'm paying my bills on time, everything good. Yo, nah, you got a Verizon bill from 10 years ago. You owe us $2,000. Like, whoa, what? 10 years ago, I was 7 or 7. I was like 6. Or 20 years ago, I was 6 or 7. And you like, how the hell I had a cell phone at 6 years old? I ain't have a walkie-talkie at 6 years old. But now you can't get that Verizon bill because you got a $2,000 bill. You go get your first house, your first apartment. You go call, electric company, Great Turn Electric, going, yo, you got an $800 bill from 1996. 1996, I was 14. I didn't have my own house or car in 1996. I didn't have a house. How the hell I got an electric bill? You call a cable company, you got a $425 bill from 92. How the hell? I was only 12 in 1992. How the hell do I got a $240 cable bill because your mom and dad, the same people who are telling you have a rainy day fund, or the same people who got phone bills, cable bills in their name, and with that, they're teaching you about how to rainy day fund, but they ain't teaching you how to have rainy day fund from them because they're the ones in here giving you and sticking you with bad credit before you even able out here to go get a student loan. Before you able to get your first car, you already got a car. You got debt from another car. You got car insurance debt from a whole other place. You can't get Geico because you got debt from Geico when your mom had Geico. But these people are teaching you about finances. And I go a little deeper. And I ain't trying to offend nobody, but keeping their buck. When your family, your loved ones, God forbid the day comes, but when your mother and dad pass away, where do they leave you? How much money are they leaving you? These same people telling you keep a rainy day fund, teach you about finance. I'll wait. How much money are they leaving you? How much? 10,000? 100,000? Or they leave you $10,000, $20,000 worth of bills of debt that they have to pay. Or trying to figure out how you want to bury them, because not only did they not teach you the proper way of handling their finances, CDs, interest rate, and how they work, junk bonds, investments, they not only didn't teach you that, they didn't even teach you about life insurance. And they didn't get life insurance. So now you're sitting here trying to do a fish fry, GoFundMe, begging Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Aunt Mary that you ain't talked to in 20 years of getting money to pay for their funeral costs. But these same people who are sitting there doing splitting you in debt and leaving this earth with debt and no savings and nothing to leave you, no generational wealth, or the same people who are teaching you about finances. Do you really want to have that debate with me? I don't think so. But what we need to do is teach our children. Learn to understand with the person who you get into a relationship with, what's their financial situation, what's their spending habits. 90 days in a relationship, when you start a job, 90-day probation, it was given. Do you know why they give you 90-day probation? Because after the first 60 days, in between that 90 days, your true identity, your true history is going to show. You might, for the first 30 days, show up, work on time, never call out. But after that, in some point within them 90 days, your true self gonna show. So if you used to call out all the time, you can call out. If you used to come in late every day, you can start coming in late. Your true self gonna show. If you're patient and you don't let the fog of love cover your eyes, you can see what a person's true intentions are, how they handle their finances, and put yourself in a better situation. But you gotta be conscious of that. Walking into a relationship lying is never gonna be beneficial to you or your husband in the longevity of creating a forever type of relationship or having it happily ever after. Listen to me. If you don't hear nothing else I said, at some point in your relationship, in your marriage, you're going to have an issue where you're going to have to argue it out, fight it out about finances. Not because your husband was irresponsible, not because your wife was irresponsible with inflation, gas prices rising, whatever the case is. You know you have kids, you got a dog, whatever. It's going to cause an issue. Make sure you make proper steps and decisions right now to try to get ahead of it. Don't jump into somewhere where someone is not like-minded and not financially matching you. 100-100. Not 50-50, 100-100. Okay? But moving on. As I said, I got one more thing to get to. Because we talk about the youth and how there's so much killing that's going on. And I keep hearing about my own personal family, so many of my younger cousins and family members dying, and so many are fearful of their lives. And it's just it's like getting to me because I'm like, this is our future. This is the next generation. And, then what I hear is, what pisses me off is, I keep hearing these older people getting on podcasts and videos and Facebook and all this, and talking about, these kids keep killing each other, and they doing this, they doing that, and they just bad, they making things worse in the world, but you ain't taking no damn responsibility of what part you played into these kids killing each other. You forget that you raised these kids, who raised these kids, who are sitting here out doing this. So meaning, some part you played into stitching in the fabric this misinformation, this miseducation that's now being passed down to the future generation. Some of you grew up in the crack era. Some of you grew up in the crack era where your kids was running the streets with nothing but a dirty diaper on. Some of your kids were growing up joining gangs because that's the only family they knew. That's the only love they ever got. The only intention they ever got was through a gang. And they grew in, they joined those gangs because some fathers wasn't home. Some fathers wasn't allowed to be in their homes because they didn't get along with the mom. You had another episode. But then no longer want to be in a relationship. That relationship didn't work no more. So some fathers just was pushed out of home and wasn't allowed to see their children, no matter the fact that they wanted to be their children's lives. Some fathers just walked the hell out of the house. Some fathers decided that joining the streets and hanging out with their boys was more important with hanging out with their kids. Some mothers had to work long hours. I get it. And I'm not talking to you, the mothers that had to sit here and work long hours to provide for their children. I'm not talking about you, single fathers that had to work long hours to provide for their kids. I'm talking about the mothers and fathers who wasn't working, but was working the streets, working the nightclubs, working the nightlife, hanging out with some dude or some woman because they were more important than hanging out with their own kids, make sure their kids was fed, did their homework, build up their self-esteem. I'm talking to them who didn't sit here and taking responsibility to this day into creating this generation that we have right now who are walking out here with mental health problems. And what I mean by mental health problems, they walk out here with self-esteem issues because they don't know how to express themselves. They see disrespect and only understand handle disrespect by violence. You hear people talking about this all the time. I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. I'm telling your kids hear that. I want all the smoke. If y'all don't know what all smoke means, basically mean, I want to fight. If you got a problem, I want the problems. Bring the problems to me. You bring the energy to you. Who wants to bring smoke to you? Who? So you want to run into the burning house, huh? You want the smoke? I don't want the smoke. You keep the smoke over there. I don't want the smoke. You know what I want? I want the positive energy. I want the love. Bring me the love. Bring me the uplifting. Bring me the positivity. Bring me the people who want to be like that. Bring me the people who want to hang around and have a good damn time and not looking for fighting and violence all the damn time. Because what you're doing is you're doing it in front of your children. Your children hear it. They read it in your Facebook posts and they wake up and they grow up talking, I want to smoke because I need to handle myself. It ain't nobody gonna disrespect me. Nobody gonna talk bad to me. I'm tough. Because you're more worried about being tough than being right. And about teaching your kids right. Teaching your kids how to deal with situations. How there's some cases, in some situations, unless somebody sit here and shoot you, stab you, or put their hands on you, or spit on you, there's some situations can be handled and be corrected by using our words, by simply expressing ourselves using our words. Some disrespect can be cured and handled by us having a conversation. But no, you want the smoke. So basically, you want the smoke to go ahead and run into a house full of fire. Because one thing I learned about a house full of fire, building a fire, is you can get all the smoke you want. And you can inhale all that smoke, and the toxins breathe deep inside your lungs until both of them have failed and suffocated. Because a lot of you right now are suffocating your life and suffocating your children in our future because you want the smoke. And you pass on the smoke to our children. We need to stop telling our children that going to seek help and talking about problems and hurt and pain in their life is a bad thing. Go see someone. Let's go for adults too, because you need to do it. Go see a therapist. Go talk to someone. Find a therapist that you love, a pastor, a rabbi. I don't care. I don't know what they talk to when they talk about the temple. When you go to the Muslims talk at the temple, go talk to them. Go talk to someone that you trust, that you love, who you can talk to and express yourself and be vulnerable to express the pain, the hurt that you're experiencing in your life. Because until we deal with that, all we're doing is stitching into our children generational curses of hate, hurt, pain, anger that's going to continue to drive the violence and murder, and we're not going to have a youth to teach anything to. There is not going to be an existing generation to create great memories with. We're going to wipe ourselves out if we don't wake up, people. Stop telling your children what they can't do. Stop telling your children they ain't shit. Stop telling your children they're going to be a failure. Stop telling your children that they can't grow, that they can't do better. Stop telling other people what they don't got and start lifting people up. And if they don't understand how to do something, tell them how to do it. Because one thing this podcast do is I don't sit here and tell you what y'all can't do. I'm going to sit here and tell you what we're not doing, but how we can start doing it. And how we can start ending generational curses is by starting today by making better decisions. I'll stop looking for the plug and start being the outlet. To giving out positive energy to other people. Giving out opportunities for others and our children. I want to thank y'all for joining me for another episode of Past the Present Podcast. Remember to like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Hit me up. Facebook, Past Present. Instagram is the best way to get me. DM me, inbox me, wherever it's cool. And let me know what your thoughts is on the show or comment below. Hit me up if you want to book me for speaking events or something like that. Hit me up on Instagram, of course. And until next time I talk to you or see you people, I only got a few things left to say, y'all. Stay woke, stay focused, most importantly, stay tuned. Peace.